Hey everyone, Roy talking here from BizDev Labs. In today's video, I wanted to go over scaling your outbound business development efforts. So right here in the infographic, you can see two different scaling strategies. One that's very loaded in the beginning and the results seem amazing, but there's diminishing returns over time. So every quarter, you're getting less and less results, and that's because of some of the short-term strategies that you're implementing right at the beginning. But real business development strategies, real marketing strategies need to be scalable over time. They actually need to compound. So it's two complete different strategies. And I think a lot of the startups that are initiating those marketing campaigns or business development campaigns are very short-term oriented, and they get stuck with the top strategy. So they hire their BDRs, they get a lot of meetings, they keep pushing for the same strategy, and over time they get diminishing returns because they're not doing the right activities for the long-term play or long-term mindset. So what I mean by that is, one, for example, they're very sales oriented. They really push meetings upfront. They don't build relationships with their prospects. They don't educate them. They don't do things that compound, for example, posting on LinkedIn or creating content or creating YouTube videos or inviting them to webinars and getting to know your customers more and actually building relationships. Those things compound over time, and word of mouth compounds. And the more that people speak about you. But those things, most companies don't care about. All they care about is meetings. So they do stuff that is very short term. They literally try to push for meetings right away. And over time, you have less and less people that want to engage with you. Not only are you pressuring them to book meetings with you, so they don't, every time they see your email, they just delete it, zero value add. They just don't even want to speak to you anymore. But you're also not doing the right activities to help push for something to come up in the next quarter or so, or in a few months from now. One email today might not mean much, but an email today might mean something in 6 months from now when all of a sudden they have a problem and they think of your brand. So just something to think about. A lot of people judge you right up front in the first few months of how many book meetings are you booking, or they judge you right away on meetings booked, and they have all these expectations. But real businesses, smart marketers, smart BDRs know that they can do things that compound over time. So you might be beating me today, you might be beating me next quarter. As you can see here in this example, it'll take 3 quarters for the latter strategy, the long-term strategy, to actually outperform your short-term strategy. But look what happens over time, and it actually scales. And scaling is the name of the game, because if you cannot scale, what are you doing? What's the point of building a whole team, a whole structure around things that don't scale? You'll end up having 10 BDRs implementing strategies that don't scale. Your progress will start stalling, will start diminishing, will start going down, but your quota is going up because you're raising funding and you have more expectation and more expenses and bigger team and blah, blah, blah. And then you're stuck. And this is literally the biggest issue, is that you're not doing things that compound over time. You're not doing long-term strategies. So when you don't do long-term strategies, you succeed short-term and you don't succeed long-term. It's that simple. So I urge more teams to look at this model and ask themselves, are we doing things that will benefit us in a few months from now, or are we doing things that will benefit us this quarter? The thing that drives me crazy is BDR teams that measure monthly quotas. If you're measuring monthly quotas, let alone like weekly quotas or like even quarterly quotas, quarterly is a little bit more fine. It can give you a more holistic view, but anything faster than that, like monthly quotas, is ridiculous. How can you do long-term strategies and have a long-term mindset when you're thinking of it every month? Think about this. This is like multiple quarters over here. There's Q1 all the way to Q4, and then it starts again. There is 5, 6, 7 quarters here, and you're telling me you think about 1 month? Like, man, the best companies think like 3 years from now. What will happen 3, 2, 1 year from now? You're thinking just monthly. How are you ever gonna win like that? I want to push companies to start thinking long term. 3 months from now at the bare minimum, then 6 months from now is already starting to look a little bit more realistic, but strategies that will help you in a year or two from now. Those are the winning companies. Those are the companies I want to work with. Those are the companies that are going to succeed. Those are the companies that create scalable processes that actually work. And actually, those are the companies that customers love, because those companies are doing things for their customers and not for themselves. Something to think about, very important topic, and I hope this helps spark a little bit of conversation internally with your team.